is Tihar jail for Arvind Kejriwal. He will be staying in judicial custody till the 15th of April. Kejriwal was produced in the court of Special Judge Kaveri Baweja after his Enforcement Directorate custody came to an end. The probe agency sought 15 days of judicial custody of Kejriwal and told the court that they may require further custody at a later date. Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju, appearing for the ED, said that the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo has been non-cooperative during the custody and has been evasive with replies. Today, AAP Ministers Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Kejriwal's wife Sunita Kejriwal were also present in court. Here's what the AAP chief said as he entered the court.
कुछ कहना चाहेंगे देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं है कुछ कहना चाहेंगे देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं है कुछ कहना चाहेंगे देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं है कुछ कहना चाहेंगे देश के लिए अच्छा नहीं है.
And now sources are telling Times Now that Arvind Kejriwal will be kept in jail number 2 in Tihar. Sources also indicating that since he is a Z+ security protectee, he could be kept in solitary confinement. We're also getting to know that owing to security reasons, Kejriwal's cell will be kept under CCTV surveillance. But the question in everyone's mind is, can he run a Sarkar from jail? Here's what his wife Sunita Kejriwal said earlier today. On expected lines, she's alleging a witch hunt.
11 दिन उनकी पूछताछ हुई है, पूछताछ पूरी हो गई है. अदालत ने दोषी नहीं कहा, उनको जेल में क्यों डाला है?
मैम, क्या आने वाले कितने दिनों के बाद आप लोग अब जेसी में भेज दिया गया है सीएम साहब को, तो कब बेल मूव करने की आप लोग तैयारी कर रहे हैं?
इन लोगों का एक ही मकसद है, इनको चुनाव में उनको जेल में डालना है. देश की जनता इस तानाशाही का जवाब देगी.
Meanwhile, AAP leaders have levelled another big political charge against the BJP. They are claiming that Operation Lotus is at play in Delhi and that BJP is trying to break their party by trying to use money and coercive tactics. They've also claimed that BJP wants president's rule in Delhi. The BJP too is countering AAP's charges, accusing the party of playing victim card to deflect from the charges.
भ्रष्टाचार के गंभीर आरोपों में घिरे हुए दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के समर्थन में भ्रष्टाचार के पुराने आरोपियों और पुराने गुनाहों में आबद्ध रहे तमाम राजनीतिक दलों ने उनका समर्थन किया था और इसके लिए भावनात्मक आधारों का भी उपयोग करने का प्रयास किया गया. Those who try to portray the bogey of victimhood, I would like to underline that today's judgment of the court is based on the concrete evidences for which neither we or now you or anybody else is privy to it.
Now let's break down the ED's remand note. Today, the Enforcement Directorate made 5 serious charges against the Delhi Chief Minister. Not only did they call him kingpin and conspirator of Liquorgate, they also said that AAP is the main beneficiary of the proceeds of crime. ED also blamed AAP for committing offence of money laundering and that Kejriwal is not revealing the truth as far as giving correct facts is concerned, and he's also giving evasive replies and concealing information. They've mentioned specific examples. Let's take you through them one by one. ED has told the court that when Kejriwal was questioned about his proximity to Vijay Nair, Kejriwal said that Nair didn't report to him and that he reported to Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj. When asked why was Vijay Nair staying in the Chief Minister's camp office, he feigned ignorance. When reporters questioned the Delhi Chief Minister of Atishi, particularly being claimed as far as Arvind Kejriwal naming her and Saurabh Bhardwaj on being questioned on Vijay Nair, this is how she evaded.
अतिशी जी नमस्ते. मैडम, आज पहली बार आपका नाम लिया गया है कोर्ट में. मैडम, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? मैम, पहली बार आप कोर्ट में कहा कि सीएम साहब ने कहा कि विजय नायर आपको रिपोर्ट करते थे.
Now, in its remand note, ED also said that Arvind Kejriwal called his own leaders confused. The ED said that when he was confronted with statements of AAP's National Treasurer ND Gupta on who takes the decision of appointing Prabharis for elections, Kejriwal said that ND Gupta is confused. Now, this because Gupta, who's also a senior member of the party and member of AAP's PAC, told ED that Kejriwal appoints Prabharis for polls. Now watch how BJP is mocking the Aam Aadmi Party over this development. They're accusing Kejriwal of now trying to shift the blame on Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj.
And the Honourable Minister Arvind G also needs to be investigated. But I'm not surprised that Mr. Kejriwal has once again thrown his colleagues under the bus. The people of Delhi are definitely suffering. Mr. Kejriwal is clinging to power. He's clinging to his chair of seamanship. And that is why it is to the detriment of Delhiites. If he has an ounce of morality, then he ought to resign.
आप मुख्यमंत्री रहकर जेल से सरकार चला सकते हैं तो भाई मनीष सिसोदिया ने क्या गुनाह और पाप किया था? उनका इस्तीफा तुरंत ले लिया। सत्येंद्र जैन का भी इस्तीफा ले लिया। अपने लिए अलग स्टैंडर्ड रखते हैं और इनका इस्तीफा क्यों ले लिया? तो अब क्या है कि मीडिया में चल रहा है कि अब वो दूसरे कुछ अपने साथियों पर ब्लेम डालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो क्या कल कैलाश गहलोत जी को शायद समन किया गया था, वो गए? तो कैलाश गहलोत जी कल या परसों गए तो उन्होंने ब्लेम डाला आतिशी पर। आतिशी से जब प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में पूछा गया तो उन्होंने ब्लेम डाला सौरभ जी पर। और अब आ रहा है कि केजरीवाल जी ने जिस पर भी ब्लेम डाला है कि विजय नायर इनका बॉय था, हमारा बॉय था ही नहीं।
All right, let's take this across to our guests now. Joining us for more, we have Anuja Kapoor, spokesperson of the BJP. Kailashnath Adhikari is MD of Governance now. We have with us Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate. Romesh Sabharwal is leader of the Congress party. But I want to start first and foremost with Parvinder Singh Sethi, who's a political analyst. Parvinder Singh Sethi, जो आज ईडी की ने सबमिट किया है कोर्ट में, उससे ऐसा नजर आता है जैसे अरविंद केजरीवाल कहीं ना कहीं ओनर शिफ्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं आतिशी और सौरभ भारद्वाज पे, ये कह के कि विजय नायर उन्हें रिपोर्ट नहीं करते थे लेकिन आतिशी और सौरभ भारद्वाज को रिपोर्ट करते थे। कैसे देखते हैं आप इसे? Mr. Sethi, can you hear me? All right, I don't think you can hear me. Let me take this across, in fact, to Sanjay Hegde. Sanjay Hegde, how should one interpret this? The BJP is saying that this is a classic case of Kejriwal trying to shift the onus from himself to his own juniors, Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj, saying that they are the ones who would deal with Vijay Nair. How do you view this?
Well, the first thing, if I had been advising Mr. Kejriwal, would be to have moved a petition in court saying that this kind of leaks from the investigating agency to the media, there are Supreme Court judgments which say that they prejudice a fair trial and that the agency concerned should take responsibility for the leaks. So we do not know what the statements are. We only have your reporter's version for it.
No, this is all in the remand note, sir. This is not any leak. Where during every remand process, you know that there are remand papers that any agency produces, and that is then made public and argued upon. So there's no question of a leak here.
By the contents of the statement are not part of the statement itself is not part of the remand note. Okay. These statements, the extent of admissibility and all that are still a question of law, which to some extent is still at large before the Supreme Court. Be that as it may, right now, all that you are going on is that what they've said in the remand note, and as a consequence, the court has said, okay, now we move him to judicial custody. Normally, when somebody is sent to judicial custody, that's the time that people apply for bail. The game, however, seems to be that in the meanwhile, sow dissension between the ranks of AAP.
Okay.
The investigating agency appears to be pointing in the media to the direction of, look, this is what we have claimed in our remand note.
All right.
And therefore, there is a certain propensity to ask AAP leaders, and I think there is an AAP spokesperson here, as to whether there are dissensions.
Well, there is an AAP supporter on the panel, certainly.
There is also...
Well, let me put that question. Let me put that question across to the BJP. Let Anuja Kapoor, I want you to comment on what Sanjay Hegde is saying. He's saying that A, this is a submission before the court by the agency, and whether through the arguments or through the remand note, it's not conclusive evidence. A is the point that he is making. And B, is this a deliberate attempt at sowing some kind of division within the Aam Aadmi Party itself? Anuja Kapoor.
Jai Shri Ram, good evening, Madhav, and to my panelists. Today's was a very interesting day for the Aam Aadmi Party and their loyal ministers. It was very sad to see Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, not only the CM, but the conveyor of Aam Aadmi Party, and how he has thrown his loyal ministers under the bus. We have seen how, for his own clingingness to the chair, has brought Arvind Kejriwal's true face-off in front of all the people. I would not hesitate to say that, do we see a confession by Arvind Kejriwal today in the court? By pointing the finger at Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj, do we see the confession that he did not say there at that very minute that the Vijay Nair, who has already been arrested and is already under the questionable position, and he's a witness, and he's an approver, has given the names, and he's telling that Vijay Nair has talked to Atishi and to Saurabh Bhardwaj. So do we see a confession? Secondly, we see the trail. So the trail which they keep on asking, the trail is given in the court itself. The court shows the trail by not giving the bail to Satinder Jain, Manish Sisodiya, Sanjay Singh, Vijay Nair, Dinesh Arora, K. Kavita, now Arvind Kejriwal, now Kailash Kailashnath, we're going to see Atishi and Saurabh. We are seeing the trail here because what the trail they keep on asking, that is what the thing is being shown by the judiciary itself. When you send a sitting CM, to the judicial custody, do you know what does it show? It shows that Aam Aadmi Party has failed the breach of trust of the people, which he brought up with him with the mandate which he got. Now we have also seen throughout that how does he keep telling and evasive about the confused Aam Aadmi Party
Anuj, I have to come in here because there are others on the panel as well. Parvinder Singh Sethi, I want you to respond to that. कहीं ना कहीं जो कोर्ट ने सारे तथ्यों को देख के उनको जुडिशियल कस्टडी में भेजा है, पहला सवाल ये, और दूसरा सवाल, कभी केजरीवाल आतिशी और सौरभ भारद्वाज पे ओनर शिफ्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, कभी कहते हैं कि उनके लीडर्स कंफ्यूज थे, तो कहीं ना कहीं सवाल उठेंगे कि केजरीवाल के ये जो डिफेंसेस हैं, क्या ये और लोगों को भी इसके घेरे में लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं? आखिर क्या हो रहा है?
नहीं, देखिए, ऐसा नहीं है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जो हैं उनको जिस प्रकार से एक साजिश के तहत अंदर करा गया है, उन चीजों को जिस प्रकार उन्होंने कहा कि जैसे मान लो कोई किसी भी राजनीतिक पार्टी का चुनाव होता है तो वहां के अकाउंट्स मेंटेन किए जाते हैं, वहां पे क्या किया जाता है, और उन्होंने कहा है कि उसके अंदर जो रिपोर्टिंग या जो बातचीत होती थी सौरभ भारद्वाज या आतिशी उनको करती थी, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वहां पे कोई इस तरह का कुछ गुनाह हुआ है कि यहाँ, अगर मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर शराब घोटाले की बात होती है तो एलजी के साइन के बाद होता है, और साइन के वहां के उनके प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी और चीफ सेक्रेटरी से ईडी क्यों नहीं पूछताछ करती? जो संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का मिसयूज करके जो विपक्ष के नेताओं को टारगेट किया जा रहा है, ये सारा देश देख रहा है।
तो ईडी कह रही है कि केजरीवाल जी साइन नहीं करते थे, ये ईडी का कहना है, और ये सवाल एलजी साहब ने पहले उठाया हुआ है।
सर ईडी हैज द स्पेशल पावर्स, जिसके ईडी का गठन इसलिए किया गया था कि ड्रग्स और जो ड्रग्स माफिया और टेररिस्ट को उस करने के लिए, इसमें जो पीएमएल एक्ट के तहत अगर किसी को भी अरेस्ट किया जाता है, जब तक ईडी यही कहती है हर प्ले के अंदर कि ये हमारे को कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहे, ये बहुत इन्फ्लुएंशियल है, अगर इनको जमानत मिल जाएगी तो ये सबूतों के साथ छेड़छाड़ करेंगे। जब तक ईडी नहीं चाहेगी, कोई भी कोर्ट उनको राहत नहीं देने वाला। जिस प्रकार सतेंद्र जैन हो, संजय सिंह हो या मनीष सिसोदिया हो, उसी तरह से जो अरविंद केजरीवाल है, ये जिस प्रकार से स्क्रिप्ट लिखी गई थी भारतीय जनता पार्टी से, उसी के अनुसार
बीजेपी स्क्रिप्ट दैट्स बीइंग फॉलोड
नहीं होंगे, किसी की भी बेल नहीं होगी।
कैलाश, I want you to come in on that.
You know, Madhav, it is abundantly clear today by what the enforcement directorate has said in the court that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is just now trying to play the game of passing the parcel, you know. But we all know where the buck stops. The buck stops at the kingpin and the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Now here you have an entire pack of people who are accused of a particular crime, in which there is embellishment, in which there is corruption. And the Delhi Chief Minister has evaded 9 summons of the Enforcement Directorate, and finally he was arrested out of his residence. Being a Chief Minister, it is so shocking that he has no respect for the law. Firstly, he evaded 9 summons. If he had nothing to hide, why did he evade 9 summons? Why couldn't he go in the first summon? And here now he's not trying to take the responsibility, but trying to shift the responsibility within the people. By doing that, he is somewhere agreeing to the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party Sarkar is guilty of doing this.
Okay, I want Romesh to comment on that. Romesh, somewhere or the other, there is a kind of admission of the Aam Aadmi Party's guilt, says Kailash Adhikari. I want you to comment on this because there are many questions as to how is this government now going to function from the jail?
It's very unfortunate. Basically, Mr. Kejriwal was the B party of the BJP. When he shifted towards the India alliance, he has to face all this music, you know. And the whole BJP is after him now. The misusing of, there is no doubt that there is a misusing. This is not the time to do all this because he's a leader of one political party and he has an influence in the northern states. In Delhi, he has an influence. He has an influence in Punjab. He has some influence in Goa. In some influence in Haryana. So he needs for the campaign. This is not the time. The elections are not going to. These are only election game. After the elections, you know, the things will move. Because he has become a part of the India alliance, and the toy which was in the hand of the BJP, neither we can dream that he will shift, neither the BJP dreamt that he can shift his alliance to the India towards our party. So this is a political game. Totally, we know that, and this is a total defame, creating a defame and all that. You know, the
you're saying this has been done for him to switch his allegiance. This has all been done for Kejriwal to switch allegiance out of India alliance.
Kejriwal has to suffer more and more now because whosoever will come closer to us, we have to suffer because these people,
Anuja,
they are demolishing.
Anuja, this has been done to coerce Kejriwal because he's supporting the India alliance. Please respond to Mr. Sabharwal.
So he is trying to say that the court which has taken the order is on the contempt of court. You're talking on that because I do not see this is a legal battle and I do not see anywhere BJP is coercing anybody. So I think this is a legal battle and the legal battle should be fought for this. And as he's in judicial custody and their person have already said that they're going to pass for the bail and all that stuff. So I think that is where they all stand. Now, this is something between the ED, CBI, IT and the courts. How does BJP come in this? BJP is just a national party. How does a national party brings whose the president is JP Nadda? And how does this ED and CBI come in any NGO party? I don't understand that. So I'm really appalled with the intelligence my panelists are having, and I fail to understand that why and how BJP would be benefiting on this. We are definitely asking the Aam Aadmi Party, please bring up your chief minister so that the Delhi people should not suffer. We are never saying that you put yourself behind and you resign. You resign. It should be your moral obligation. You should be doing that. It's a moral support.
Sanjay Hegde has a huge smile on his face. I think, Sanjay, you want to respond to Anuja?
No, I was only thinking on the appropriateness of the day. It's the 1st of April. And to say that, the ED doesn't operate at the instance of the ruling party. There have been several people who have switched to the ruling party and have said that, now we can sleep peacefully. There's a politician from Maharashtra, the name escapes my attention now. That's point one. Point two was that on the 5th of October 23, in the Supreme Court itself, Dr. Singhvi, while arguing, said, Vijay Nair used to report to other ministers, Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj. So today what you are playing up is nothing more than what was informed to the Supreme Court way back in October. So this is exactly what I was saying, that, you selectively leak. After you selectively leak and you decide that, this is the angle that the story goes and the spin goes. My problem is not that journalists access court papers. My problem is when a selective kind of reporting happens. That which...
how is this selective? We are reporting what happened in the court today, Sanjay. How is it selective? The agency said something. If there's a counter, you can counter it. We have reported what has happened in the court.
Which was not told to the Supreme Court on the 5th of October 23. So
No, there's a lot.
Okay, now you
Details
now
of
you
signing
want
of
to spin it
papers.
off
It's not
as,
just this
you know,
Vijay Nair aspect, but details of signing of papers. You've seen what all has come out today. It's not just this one aspect. There are many aspects that are being spoken about. And also, of course, the names of Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj being taken. But anyway, let Kailash come in on this. Kailash, is this a selective leak according to you? Do you think there's some merit in what Sanjay is saying?
You know, it's Madhav, you know, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal naming Atishi and Saurabh that Mr. Vijay Nair used to report to them. Madam Atishi and Saurabh Bharadwaj used to report to the Chief Minister of Delhi, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. I mean, it is just joining the dots. You know, there's nothing selective that I find in anything. There is a probe which is conducted by our esteemed agency run by very competent people. And now there are facts out in the open. And people of the Aam Aadmi Party, those who are the perpetrators of this kind, have to come out in the open and have to give a statement. And they are just evading that. They are selectively evading that.
Okay, it's a selective evasion. We're completely out of time. We'll have to leave it there. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us. Kailashnath Adhikari, MD of Governance Now, Sanjay Hegde, Senior Advocate, Romesh Sabharwal, as well as Parvinder Singh Sethi, and of course Anuja Kapoor, spokesperson of the BJP. Thanks to all of you for joining us. We certainly haven't heard the last word yet, but from the Chief Minister's residence to Tihar jail, it's been a pretty long journey for Arvind Kejriwal. We'll of course have to see how things play out in the court over the next few days. Thanks so much for joining us.